Reddit is one of the few places where people don't recognize the name of many famous users. But even in an environment where content itself seems to matter more than the name of the poster, one name seems to get mentioned more than others. You might think you have never read a post by u/Urar, and in some ways you would be correct. But at some point, have you probably read a post that just felt off in some way? As either felt like it was just coming from someone who was mentally unwell, or just so out of touch with reality it couldn't be real? Well, you weren't going crazy. If that doesn't ring a bell, have you ever read a post like the one on screen? Oh, and this was posted on r/college rant for some context if you're wondering. Well, if you're wondering why I'm bringing up this post by a seemingly random account that has no history, it's because this is actually just Snooroar on one of his alts. Now, by one of his alts, I mean one of his 20,000 alternate accounts. Yes, you heard that correctly. 20,000 Reddit accounts. He has been doing the same cycle for roughly 2 years, in which he makes an account, makes a very whiny post about his own issues on a niche subreddit, gets banned, and then repeats. The whole cycle seems to have started around 2 years ago, or that is at least when people began tying all of these posts to the same person. But you can find comments from his original Snooroar account dating up to 4 years ago. Like any of the greats from history, Snooroar decided to write a manifesto, with the first words explicitly being, "I don't want to write an essay." However, I don't think he knows what an essay is, as he proceeded to write a 3,300-word essay, in which he documents his childhood and all of the things that led to what he is now. Now, while he continually mentions throughout his manifesto that he will take full responsibility for his actions, and I promise I'm not making this part up, but the very next sentence after saying he doesn't want to write an essay, he blames his parents. Now, if we just sort of skip through all of the self-loathing, blaming parents for spoiling him, and just random other BS, he says some pretty weird things. My favorite being, "I can't get an engineering job because of my autism." Now, to round off his manifesto, he tells a story just straight up admitting to assault. Apparently, he saw a video of cops beating an elderly woman, and people apparently justifying it in the comments of the video, because the elderly woman was resisting. Since the internet is always the most insightful source of information, it was okay for him to beat his own mother for saying no to him. Probably because she said it was past his bedtime. But it gets even worse, as he starts to complain that because he assaulted his own mother, he wouldn't be able to follow his dream of becoming a police officer, as there is a polygraph test where they ask you about crimes you were never convicted of. I also get the impression that all of this happened at least in his late teen years. Now, because he seems to be so chronically online, he's actually slipped up a couple times through his constant posts, and by comparing the common topics of his post, there are a few things that are more than likely true. Additionally, comparing things to the manifesto we went over previously fills in a few gaps. So, what has the internet managed to dig up on this wonderful man? Well, they have found his real life name, his LinkedIn, his class schedule, mostly because he posted it for some reason, and even some of his classmates have found him in real life and asked him about what he was doing. But for the purposes of this video not getting deleted due to doxing, the very basics are that he is roughly 22, as his memoir mentioned that he was a freshman in high school when the show 13 Reasons Why came out. His name is David, and he attends the UCLA for some form of engineering. There's also pictures of his feet if you look hard enough and use some internet tools such as Wayback Machine, but they're not going in this video. His post started on running forums as he complains that his one-year career was ruined due to poor shoes, but through his responses to commenters, it was found out that he was simply overtraining. After he had managed to be continuously banned from most running subreddits, and either other forums such as letsrun.com, he then went to military subreddits to continually ask if he can join the military with a criminal record due to his aforementioned assault. While it may just seem like someone trolling, he has definitely said some pretty choice words, such as the photo on screen that was found in the UCLA's computer science Discord server, and another instance in which he said, "It's not my fault if I like children." He definitely is not fully there mentally. 2 times that my own procrastination truly screwed me over, and this is one of those times. If you have never seen this message before, it was a bot made to help identify Snooroar accounts made by the community and to help people in subreddits identify him. However, in researching for this video, I had found that the Snooroar Tracker subreddit had actually been banned just 10 days before I started researching. It was banned on the grounds of harassment, and allegedly, Snooroar himself had a role in the ban of the subreddit. Also, according to users' personal stories, there have been users banned from subreddits for simply calling out that a post is just from a Snoorer account. Now, the tracker bot itself is where that 20,000 different Reddit account number comes from, and the users that made up this r/snoorer tracker community have gotten their own reputation online. Most of these users are considered idiots for consistently addressing a troll and following him into every subreddit and forum he appears to be on. Obviously, they are never successful in talking any sense to him, as you can still find posts from him if you just know what to look for.